The Gina and Maddie podcast.
Now, this is my favourite time. We get to talk to Jen Muir. She is from Connected Parenting AU, co-host of Beyond the Chaos podcast and author of Little People, Big Feelings. She joins us on the line this morning. Morning, Jen.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Really
Good morning.
good. How are you doing? You had a big night with Maggie Dent last night.
I did. It's a bit strange when you're running a webinar with your mentor who you've been following for years. Maggie guided me in my early parenting and she had such a big impact on me. And never, ever did I think I'd be co-hosting something with her. So it was pretty awesome.
Let's talk. I want to talk mental load as a parent just quickly with you. I think you might have seen it yesterday as well. A mutual friend of ours put up a story about going to the gym and taking her son to the gym, and she did like a 30-minute workout at the gym. He went along, she took his iPad, put the headphones on, and was really proud of him for behaving himself while she did this really quick workout. And then someone in the comments came along and slammed her and said something along the lines of, well, you could have taken him to the park or the beach or done something fun. And I just was like, oh my God. And then I saw you had commented as well, Jen. I think in that space, not only is she being a good role model, but also like putting a bit of time aside for herself, which is something that a lot of parents don't do.
Yeah, and this is one of the ways that the world we're parenting in has changed. So one of the ways, and Maggie and I talked about it last night, the way that we're judging each other. You know, and kind of like this culture of, you know, somebody think of the children type thing, which the children, to be honest, they're being thought of more than any previous generation. So the pressure to always make our kids' lives magical, I think, is what came up in that post, right?
Yeah.
That she shouldn't even do 30 minutes of workout, which I can tell you from the evidence is the best thing she could do for her child and their relationship long term. And to be honest, you know, like 30 minutes while his mum works out, and then the day that they have, which is just a normal day going to the shops for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, you know, that's absolutely fine. He doesn't need magical experiences every day. But what we're parenting in is a kind of this environment that is different to any previous generation, where not only has the village changed, so there's less support around because we're all working harder. We've got the information overload, so we know more than any previous generation about what we should be doing for kids. No one in the 80s was thinking, oh, did I sit with my kids' emotions good enough in that moment? They were not worried if they went to the gym, let me tell you. Like, they had to, you know, there used to be an ad on TV that came on at 10 o'clock at night that said, where are your children?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's a great question. Where are they? No, that is classic 80s parenting.
Nobody knew where the kids were.
Well, we just used to run home when the street lights came on. We knew that was time to go home. You can't do that these days. But you were so judged on social media. That wasn't around when I was a kid. It was starting to be around when Jackie was little, our son who's now 21. But I was saying to Maddie off air, I was getting kind of judged by the mothers group, you know, saying, my baby's sleeping through the night. My baby didn't sleep. He only did 45-minute blocks until he was 3. And, you know, feeling that pressure. But these days, also people judging on social media, it's awful.
Oh, it is. It's a whole new thing to contend to. And even if no one's attacking you like, you know, happened yesterday, you know, we compare ourselves. We say, oh, look at that perfect life, and I'm here with my kids all melting down and refusing to help out around the house, and maybe I'm getting it wrong. And that's just because no one shows that stuff.
No.
Really,
and some of my best memories with my old man is when he used to take me to get a pink lemonade. And it wasn't until I was a lot older and realised he wasn't taking me actually to get a pink lemonade. He was going to the TAB to put a punt on. I was sitting in the beer garden having a pink lemonade, just keeping myself occupied. But I look back at that and go, they were some great times.
Yeah.
He wasn't at the gym. He was having a punt on the GGs. That's what he was doing.
That is so funny. And that's the thing. And there's no part of him that would have thought, oh, I feel guilty, I should be taking him to the beach.
Not
he
at
was
all.
Like, kid's lucky.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen, I was at the shops a couple of days ago and saw a little toddler having a massive meltdown. And I go straight to the mum, you poor thing, it's embarrassing. And when they just won't get up, kicking and screaming on the ground. A lot of people just jump in and judge the parent. But I'm always thinking, because I've had one kid, the kid's tired. There's all kinds of reasons why the meltdown's happening. What do you do? Like, how do you deal with meltdowns?
Oh, as a parent or as a bystander? Look, as a bystander.
As a parent.
Exactly.
Still getting them as a 21-year-old.
Be nice to any parent dealing with that in public because it's super hard. Look, for our kids with meltdowns, I mean, it's different when you're at home and when you're in public. So in terms of the public, actually I'll start at home. In terms of what kids need at home, if your child is melting down because they're upset, usually because we've said no to something, we're really trying to do this, really just let them know, hey, I get it, you're not okay. And honestly, there's so much information out there about naming feelings and telling kids to go to their calm corners or take deep breaths. And I'm going to tell you, none of that is going to work in the peak of a meltdown, right? Your kid is just going to get angrier or more upset. What we're trying to do is authentically be as close as you can to your child without making it worse, and kind of just say, hey, you're not okay and I am here. So rather than you're okay, take a deep breath, the reframe is you're not okay and I am here. I'm not trying to push you to be better. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to teach you in this moment. We can do that later, maybe even the next day. But in this moment, we're trying to let our child know, hey, I can see you're not okay and that's really hard and I kind of know what it's like to not be okay and I'm with you. If your child, though, gets to the point in that meltdown, as many, many kids do, they get quite dysregulated, they're throwing, they're hitting, they're pushing, or they're so 10 out of 10. You know, some kids headbang. You know, they're doing all these behaviours that are really scary. What you've got to look at your child and go, you're not okay and I think you need my help to be contained. And in that scenario, I'd be stepping in, scooping my child up, particularly if they're 6 and under, you know, sometimes in a bear hug, getting them to their room, saying, hey, I'm going to come with you to your room. So rather than an old school, go to your room and come back when you're calm, we say, I'm going to come with you to your room. I'm with you in this, okay? We're going to do it together. And what we're doing by being with our child, as messy and, you know, hard as that is we're allowing them to borrow our nervous system. And every time we do that, that's a process called co-regulation. That helps kids learn to regulate. Hardest thing to do in parenting, let me tell you, because every bone in your body is going to go, I need to yell at my child, I need to run away, I need to do something to shut this emotion down, because we were all sent to our rooms. So it is terrifying to do, because often for us, every instinct in our body is saying this isn't safe. So we're often going into fight, flight or freeze too. So we're really just trying to stop ourselves from flipping out. But I want to quickly say, if any of that is happening in public, my biggest advice is get you and your kid out of there.
That's it, we're going home. Jen, it's always a pleasure talking to you. If you want some more advice like this, make sure you are following Jen, Connected Parenting AU. Get around the podcast, Beyond the Chaos podcast as well, or the book, Little People, Big Feelings. We'll leave it with another one of the slides that you put up the other day, Jen, which is, we are all imperfect parents and that's okay. Tiny humans need connection, not perfection. I love that. Jen, we'll chat to you in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Chat soon, guys.
The Gina and Maddie Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.